And welcome to day 5 and Tater's backside. The day it gets cold. The weather, not Tater's backside. What's the look for? She's first thing in the morning.
Makes sense.
It's okay. It makes sense to other people. Oh, hey, check out that nostril on thing action. And of course, after our glassy, pleasant day yesterday, today is where it gets windy and cold. The Arctic blast has arrived, or is arriving. The temperature started at like 50 this morning, and it's not getting warmer as the sun comes up. It gets colder.
That is weird.
So weird.
That's really weird. But the sun is out. We're going to test out our solar panel today.
And I have a bunch of friends who are showing like their weather meters are, it's like -20 outside of their nice warm house where the heater's on and they have blankets. But yeah. And then all the people from Florida are like, this is the coldest winter in 40 years. Always happens when I show up. It was the wettest when I did the East Coast hikes, but I also didn't want to get out of the tent because you can hear the wind going. We did have thunder and lightning last night. Taters missed it because she was all like, but I was up for like an hour after, and there were a bunch of flashes and thunder going off down to the south. Another day on the river, freezing our buttses off. So Taters ended up with some weird allergic reaction on her hand because it's Florida and there's always something here trying to kill you. But at least it's getting better. And it hasn't swollen up massively, which I was kind of hoping for. I have EpiPens that I haven't gotten to use. And so I'm like, hey, we can finally use those. They're the AT ones because they're about to expire. But no. So to stay warm here, I was having a little bit of trouble feeling cold yesterday. Basically on the top, I have my base layer fleece and jacket. On the bottom, I've got long johns, fleece paddle pants, and then the rain pants. And that's what we're trying. I'm still wearing my hiking shoes and big poofy socks just because of my post-COVID toe issues. But yeah, unfortunately, when we're walking around, you tend to like mush your feet and really encourage the circulation. When we're just sitting there all day, it gets a lot colder. Plus, I mean, this is effort. We're feeling it in our across our backs, having paddled all day for a couple of days, but it doesn't make you nearly as warm as carrying a full pack and climbing up mountains does. So with all the overcast for days, we have plenty of power still, but you got to kind of keep ahead of it. So now that we have some sun, we're going to put the panels out. 8:49 and we are off, bundled up as you can see, even though it's not super cold yet. But the Arctic blast is coming, which that is a Gatorade flavor, right?
Yes.
I think that's like the white one that tastes of cherry. The beach campsite that I wanted turned out it was a couple hundred feet down around the first bend. Oh well, maybe tonight. Tragedy on the Suwannee this morning as Taters didn't listen to me about, wind skills and had her hat and fleece with no hoodie and it went into the river and we had to rescue it. And now it's all wet and cold.
At least we rescued it.
If only somebody had warned you before. If only there was somebody you could have listened to with lots of experience getting their ass blown all around Florida and other places. Oh, that sounds dirty. Hey, maybe Google will put us on that other category that gets all the hits. We reached the Suwannee State Park where, since we have access to bathrooms, we're trying to align our bathroom stops with these where we can. See, unfortunately, what I really need is not a bathroom. It is just enough internet. Still trying to get episode 2 up on day 5. The sign back there was saying the river can fluctuate 20 to 40 feet. So I guess those life jackets up top are actually put there by the river. Oh, this wind is getting unpleasant. So past the state park here, this is the area where I actually had to take a high river alternate to get to the road walk early because flooding was so bad on this section. So this is technically part of the Florida Trail I haven't done. Also, the water has really changed. We're seeing leaves and things 6 inches down, which keeps throwing us. You can see the light shining down because we've been on black water this entire time. Now it's merely, brownish. Just when we're relaxing, that's when we hit the rapids-ish thing. It's probably okay, but we don't want to spill with our gear. We keep looking at things, and there are things we'd go over in our boats with which we know, but we're in an unfamiliar river, unfamiliar boat, so we're going to be cautious. It's shallower on this side, but we're used to doing that stuff, and that'll get us around the worst of these rapids. Okay, we made it through that. maybe wasn't the prettiest. We basically had to get, Jen was out of the boat and then directed through, and we were scraping a little bit, but we didn't flip over, which is the good thing. Like I said, if it was our boats in a day trip, I probably would have done that right-handed thing, no problem, but this thing handles like a boat. Oh, we look like it's cold on this video. The sun feels good, but the wind has been pretty brutal. So the funny thing is, compared to the ambient temperature, the water actually feels fairly warm. But then, of course, you get out of it and you're back in the wind and everything. Still, it hasn't been unrelenting. We've had areas where we were hauling as hard as we could, paddling against the wind. And then like this, it's no big deal.
The feeling of the river really changed after the confluence with the Withlacoochee. It's a lot wider, a lot clearer water, and a bit faster moving too. Also, I saw a turtle that was out sunning itself on a rock, although of course it promptly jumped into the water when we came by.
And now intense sunshine.
We were just taking a little break on this beach and looking at our timing. Initially we had thought we might resupply in Brantford at the grocery store there. That's around mile 76. But we realized that based on our pace, we're gonna probably be there on Christmas Day when nothing is open. So we needed to find some other options. Looks like we're gonna make it to the Dowling Park River Camp tonight. And across from Dowling Park is little town with some shops and delis and things. So we should be able to get a resupply there. And that should keep us going through the rest of the river. Maybe supplementing at gas station stores a little bit along the way.
Oh, I like the idea of restaurants.
There's more chances for restaurants that are like right on the river.
Woo! Interestingly enough, we can see smoke off to the west. Not sure what's going on, but it's hazy off and on whenever the wind blows it this way. So the reason why we keep taking breaks like this, my back is just killing me right now. We've been looking up, like trying to make sure we're doing the paddle correctly, but I think it's just doing 10 hours a day now, 5 days in a row. I guess it's 4 full days plus what, 3 hours on the first day? Ow!
Onwards!
Oh. Yes, you paddle, I nap. I would say eat snacks, but all the yummy snacks are gone. So, oh. So obviously I've had this little guy out the entire time, but since we actually had sunlight today, we got the bigger panel out. This is 9 watts, this is 36 watts. For whatever reason, this has filled about half the battery. The 36 watt, we're still just on 1 dot on the 20K battery we attached to it. We're not sure what's going on here. And we decided this was going to be our resupply. I'm a little confused though. Public welcome, closed for non-members, but we're gonna send taters. Tater's got the fun job of going to the store and buying all the candy. I am currently sitting here trying not to freeze. We don't like leaving anything unguarded, obviously, just in case something comes by. And when we do have to leave the boat, I've been taking the paddles out just so it's not too tempting for people. And oh boy, when that sun goes down, the temperature drops. It's supposed to be 20 degrees tonight, which is still better than where it is where a lot of my friends are.
Alright, so that was a little store that is part of the Christian Village retirement community. And they had everything we needed. Didn't quite have everything we wanted. They don't have any wine, so Matt will be kind of disappointed about that. But had enough of the staples to get us through the next few days.
So it is dang cold. Our plan is to stay at Dowling River Park. We are trying to offload as quickly as we could.
So we finally managed to time it so we're staying at one of the river camps. But we realized we can't actually stay in these fancy walled off raised platforms because of the way our tent is. There's so much tension on the stakes, it really needs to be in the ground.
Trekking pole tent, yeah. And there's no rocks because Florida.
So we are trying to find the tent site so that we can set up on the ground just like normal.
I think we just set up here.
Or we can just set up here.
So yeah, we're not staying up here thanks to the whole, trekking pole tent. We could sleep out, but it's kind of breezy and chilly, and we're taking advantage of every layer. So we're actually going to set up the tent down below, and we're taking the opportunity to charge, because the small solar panel was working okay. The big one that Jen was trying to charge her battery off didn't seem to be doing its thing. I'm not sure what's going on there. I kind of suspect maybe it's not resuming, because we verified the light was on. It's supposedly if you go underneath a tree, the panel will reset. I did see one review of that model that mentioned that that wasn't working.
So we've got this river camp to ourselves tonight. There's the fancy looking treehouse, and there's our super cozy tent down below. It should be getting down below freezing tonight, so we are getting in all our layers and prepping to get cozy. It's a nice clear night, real pretty stars. Home sweet home for the night.